Have you ever wondered what the most radioactive places are on Earth? Chances are you know the top 2, but can you name any others? Here are 5 places on Earth that you wouldn't dare to visit without a hazmat suit. Let's start off with Instituto Goiano de Radioterapia in Goiás, Brazil. It is the site of a robbery that went horribly wrong. In the fall of 1987, some scrap metal dealers stole a radiotherapy unit containing caesium-137 and dismantled and sold it for scrap, managing to expose many people to large amounts of the radioactive material in the process. This event led to the deaths of at least 4 people and serious contamination of at least 249, with thousands more affected and at a higher risk of developing cancers and other serious problems. Cleanup operations included the removal and safe disposal of the topsoil from several sites. Some houses had to be demolished. The Hanford site also makes it to the list. Located in Washington, this was the main plutonium production facility for the USA's nuclear weapon arsenal. 60,000 nuclear weapons worth of plutonium was refined somewhere in the region, including those used in the making of the infamous Fat Man that fell on Nagasaki in 1945. While currently decommissioned, the site holds somewhere around 2/3 of the USA's total high-level nuclear waste. The vast majority of this has been buried underground. However, local groundwater appears to have been seriously contaminated as a consequence. Decontamination works are currently underway. Coming next is the Semipalatinsk test site, also known as the Polygon, in Kazakhstan. This 7,000 square mile patch of land was used by the Soviet Union as one of their main nuclear weapon testing sites during the Cold War. Between 1949 and 1963, the Soviets conducted more than 110 above-ground nuclear tests at the site. Underground tests continued until 1989. For this reason, the area is currently highly radiated, and the full impact on nearby residents was hidden by the Soviet Union for many years. It was only in the early 1990s, after the fall of the Soviet Union, that the truth emerged. Up next is the Chernobyl disaster in Ukraine, caused by a mixture of human error and flawed reactor design. This event literally shook the world. Workers at the plant were simulating a power blackout during a late-night safety check when things took a turn for the worst. At some point, the plant's safety systems failed, and one of the plant's reactors suffered a massive steam explosion and subsequent open-air graphite control rod fire. Plumes of fissile material were sent high into the atmosphere, resulting in serious radioactive fallout across the USSR and over large parts of Europe. Since the 1980s, it has been estimated that somewhere around 1 million people were exposed to high levels of radiation from the incident, leading to the premature death of between 4,000 to 93,000 people. The disaster site has since been covered by a specially designed sarcophagus made from steel and concrete, and this was later covered with a new safe confinement structure in 2016. And the winner, for want of a better term, is Fukushima in Japan. In 2011, a 9.0 to 9.1 magnitude earthquake created a tsunami that overwhelmed the sea defenses of the Fukushima nuclear power plant. This set off a chain of events that would lead to the plant becoming the site of the world's worst nuclear power plant disaster since Chernobyl. While the plant managed to survive the initial shockwaves from the quake, the resulting tsunami was almost twice the maximum design tolerance of the plant. Seawater inundated the plant's cooling pumps, and Fukushima's 3 reactors began leaking radioactive material. This radioactive material, as well as the spillover of the plant's contaminated wastewater, escaped into the Pacific Ocean. While engineers did manage to completely shut down the plant, it was too late to stop massive amounts of radioactive waste from leaking to the surrounding environment. About 160,000 people were evacuated from the surrounding area as a result, and while many now have been allowed to return to towns in the region, many of the evacuees may never return. We may never know the extent of environmental damage this disaster actually caused, but if we suddenly see the appearance of a giant fire-breathing sea lizard in the future, we can make an educated guess as to why.
Loose change for getting down.